Yo, what's up, people, man? This is not a video about complaining. Well, it's gonna be a little complaints, but I've been experimenting with like the slider sets because I just really got tired of playing. I just really got sick of this game. This is the only way I can keep playing it. Now, I tried versus sliders a while back, and versus sliders, versus TV. If you don't know them, check them out. Is versus with a Z at the end of it. But I tried a slider set, which was a pretty good slider set. It was, but it was some compromises that had to be made in the sake of fairness with the CPU, right? Like the CPU would still actually be able to cheat quite a bit because there was some compromises had to be made to get it to play fair that was kind of unrealistic. So like shooting and stuff like that was pretty unrealistic, like from like deep, like you could pretty much only make like shots when you were like wide open, just stuff like that is just not realistic for good shooters. Like Steph Curry would never be able to prosper on those sliders. So they was good, but I recommend those for anybody who's not really like heavy into like realism and stuff like that, which is, it's okay because everybody's not a person who's gonna be like, oh yeah, I just want the most real. Some people are just casual gamers and that's cool. But this play right here is a product of what you can expect from Shady Mike's slider set, and it's the ones that I'm actually using. Like, I rarely see the CPU do stuff like this. Like, this is Klay Thompson, by the way. He's a good defender. They got him highly rated as a good defensive player. But see, my thing is, even great defenders in real life, like, offense is just like, you're on the string of the offensive player no matter who you are. If you weren't, then you'd be a mind reader. You'd be able to tell the future. You'd be a step ahead. Like, what happens is even good defenders, stuff like this happen to good defenders because he can't predict what James Harden is going to do. James Harden is one of the best rim attackers in the NBA, right? Like, he can't predict what this, and one of the best rim attackers and best ball handlers in the NBA. He can't predict what James Harden is going to do. So he falls for a fate. But see, this is where his defensive IQ steps in. He falls for the fake, but he does what's necessary to like cut James Harden off from going into the paint. So it's up to the user to be able to counter that, right? So I counter with a step back. So I got space for the jumper right there. And that's what I wanted. See, of course he made the jump shot, which, sometimes it happens. Sometimes he makes, sometimes he misses. It's basketball. But you see that sequence right there lets me know. It lets me understand that this slider set is actually really doing a lot of. It's actually, if you adjust the sliders the right way, you can get a realistic playing game out here. Now, is all the BS gonna be gone? No, because some things just gonna happen. Some things are just hard coded into the game to happen regardless of what's going on. Like, it's certain post moves that the CPU will do that'll push you directly out of the position. Sometimes when you try to play up on a guy, he gets out of position, and that stuff can't change, right? Like, that stuff's not going to change until they like recode the game. But as far as like a slider set being able to play with, see, the problem is like I'm starting to see a lot of the problem lies in the slider set because default and simulation sliders, those sliders are highly unrealistic. Like, and the reason I say that is because shooting in general, okay, let's break down advanced player tracking with shooting and stuff from NBA.com and other stat sources online. If you look up those 0 to 6 feet is considered wide open. I mean anything outside of 6 feet and beyond is considered wide open, right? This is beyond 6 feet. Now, I might be judging this wrong, but this is beyond 6 feet what Klay is standing for me. So in theory, this is like a wide open shot, and it's a wide open shot in theory. So it should have a decent chance of going in, an okay chance of going in from a guy like James Harden. It's a wide open shot, basically. That's what the player tracking says. Like 6 feet now is wide open. 4 feet to 2 feet is a contested shot, right? Like that's the shot. That's just a contested shot. It's not and a heavily contested shot is 0 to 2 feet, and those are shots that nobody makes, not even Stephen Curry. Like, because, and it's understandable, it makes sense, because when you're like within 2 feet of somebody, then you're usually in the shot pocket, so that means he has to change the rhythm of his shot and how he like brings the ball up from his shot pocket, and his shooting set point, he has to rearrange the ball, and he has to, that's hard as hell to do. Then he still has to worry about the shot block. That's hard as hell to do, and it's hard as hell to make those shots. Like if you look at player tracking with that, you look at Stephen Curry, even though they don't shoot a lot of those, and that's for good reason, because you don't have a lot of space. That's just a terrible shot. First of all, if you shoot those, it's a terrible shot. But the ones that they do shoot, they do not be making, like, we talking like 20%. They might shoot like 2 or 3 of those game, right? And then like you look at the end of the season is a good time to look at something like that. They be in like 20%, 15%, like lesser shooters being in like 15% for shots like that. Those are just bad shots. So the problem with the default slider set is this is about 6 feet, right? This is supposed to be a wide open shot. This is not a good contest. This is wide open. Like James Harden can miss stuff like that because he's not the greatest shooter in the world. He can shoot, but he's not the greatest shooter in the world. Stephen Curry on this slider set, Stephen Curry will burn you if you do this to him. He'll probably knock that down, like he'll knock it down more than enough to damage you and make you lose the game. But the problem with the default slider set is this is like a contested shot. What this means for the default simulation slider set is this is 6 feet out. This is considered wide open in the NBA. On a real basketball court, that's considered wide open. Player tracking to tell you that. The problem with this is if you're playing like on like default simulation, this is considered a 2 to this is not considered wide open. This is considered basically what a 2 to 4 foot shot, the 4 foot contest range is in real life. That's the problem, if I can explain it right. I know I'm kind of I'm trying to explain it the best I can, so bear with me, people. But that's what this means. That's what this is. Like that wouldn't be a wide open shot on. Like that wouldn't be a good look, really. It'll be a good look, but it wouldn't be a wide open shot because it's considered like wide open. So it wouldn't be that on like simulation. Basically what I'm trying to say. So basically what I'm trying to say is you think about everything. If you look at player tracking, then like everything, just rein everything in a couple of feet. Like this is wide open in real life, but in 2K, this is not. This is actually a moderately contested shot. Right, so that's what these slider sets really do. Like they make shooting more realistic. They make going to the goal more realistic, driving a lot more realistic. It makes the offense and the defense react more realistically to stuff. Now it's gonna be times where so they cheat and do like certain stuff that will get them a basket. It'll never be nothing like make a shot that they'll never make a shot that they ain't got no business making. Like no more than people do in real life. But what'll happen is they'll get open in a manner that's not very realistic. Like how it is. People stand around and people just lose track of their man for no reason. You know how it is. Stuff like that won't change. That's coding. This set won't fix that, but it will make the game a lot more enjoyable. I can say like it does. Like it's still a lot of things that I really want to see from 2K in order for me to keep playing this game consistently. But as of right now, Shady Mike Gaming, his slider set is like one of the best out there, man. It's playing on Superstar. It's giving you fair games. It's giving you entertaining games. People are not missing a bunch of trash and shit that they supposed to miss, except for layups. Like sometimes you will miss it. You won't miss layups no more than you will like on a default simulation slider set, which is terrible in my opinion. Like many players do not be missing layups like that. Like they miss layups, but they don't miss the kind of layups that these guys miss. You go under the basket, you do a leg up, and just because there's somebody a little bit in your vicinity, you miss that layup. Like that's not how it works, man. I'm sorry, it's just not how basketball works. Like guys who get in the paint can make layups, and guys who known for going to paint, they make those layups. But anyway, that's all I want to put on you guys for the day, man. But just let me know what you think in the comment section. Check that slider set out, man. See if it changes the game for you, man. But all right, people, peace out.